Most people water alocasias the hard way. Here's the method that keeps mine consistently hydrated. This is why I love growing alocasias in sphagnum moss. It creates the perfect environment for strong, healthy roots. Growing in sphagnum inside a clear cup lets me check root health and moisture levels at a glance without removing the plant. Just look at these healthy roots. Now I'm gently removing all the sphagnum moss from the roots before repotting. Don't worry if a few roots break off during the process. Alocasias usually grow new roots very quickly. These are the kind of roots you want to see. Firm, healthy, and light in color. Now it's time to prepare the new pot. I'm using a clear plastic cup, a synthetic wick, a pair of scissors, and a few simple tools. First, I measure the wick against the height of the cup. This helps me make sure it's long enough to reach the water reservoir while still sitting comfortably inside the pot. Once I'm happy with the length, I trim off the excess. Next, I make 2 small holes in the bottom of the cup. These will allow me to thread the wick through the base and position it securely before adding the substrate. A clear cup makes it much easier to keep an eye on the root system later, and the wick will continuously draw moisture up from the reservoir, helping keep the roots evenly hydrated. Next, feed the wick through both holes in the bottom of the cup, just like this. Before adding the substrate, I always test the setup. The inner cup should sit securely inside the reservoir, and the wick must stay in contact with the water. This is what allows moisture to travel up to the roots. Now it's time to add the sphagnum moss. I always use it slightly damp, never soaking wet. It should feel moist to the touch without dripping any excess water. I start by placing a small amount of moss at the bottom of the cup. This helps support the plant and keeps the wick surrounded by moisture from the very beginning. Try not to pack the moss too tightly. The roots still need access to oxygen, so keeping the moss light and airy creates a much healthier environment for root growth. As I continue filling the cup, I gently work the moss between the roots with my fingers. This helps eliminate large air pockets while avoiding unnecessary damage to the root system. Once the roots are fully covered, I lightly press the moss just enough to keep the plant stable. It should be secure, but the moss should still remain fluffy. With the plant in place and the wick already touching the water reservoir below, moisture can now move upward through the moss, providing the roots with a steady supply of water while still allowing plenty of airflow. This is where the system comes to life. Once the wick reaches the water, it continuously delivers moisture to the sphagnum moss, helping maintain stable conditions around the roots. That's it. If you'd like to see more houseplant care tips and propagation guides, don't forget to subscribe for future videos.